A very good morning to you. My name is Ann QT, and welcome to Daybreak this lovely morning. Yeah, it's a very, very lovely morning. Before we were talking about football, but I mean, we are not allowed to talk about football because it's a matter social, but the discussion was so tight. Of course, we all support different teams. CJ, Liverpool is not doing you any good. How are you? Good to see you. And thank you.
As well. You're
thank you, CJ.
Right.
Chelsea fan?
Yeah, comme ci, comme ça. In that season, we don't know. We beat a big team. We are beaten by a small team. We draw with middle table teams. We don't know.
Good to see you, Ken.
Good to see. I like your jacket.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I know you're looking forward to today's conversation.
Yes.
Usibantu tafadhali, tunaomba usichome.
Sichomangi cutie.
And of course, the lovely Bobby. Hey, unakaa fiti.
Thank you.
Nowadays, Bobby does her makeup, by the way.
Oh,
Good job.
Thank you.
She does her makeup. Nowadays, hautuhitaji?
Seti siwahitaji, but I don't know. I think there's a way when you know your own features, you know how to accentuate them better. So, seti siwahitaji.
But unakaa fiti. Wacha tu tuseme unakaa poa.
Kwani mimi sina football team?
By the way, uko nayo?
Bobby, unatuuliza salani.
Unajua,
Sasa tutakujibu aje?
Nilikuwa nafuata chali yangu lakini tumeachana. So, hivyo ndio inakuwa.
Alikuwa na support team gani?
Hata sitaki kusema.
Arsenal.
Na Hill bado.
Paul, hiyo tutaongea ni girl talk. Tutaongea baadaye.
Nimeweza tuko hii time ningesema.
Sema tu Kenya unataka kusema, it's fine.
Simuachana, hakuna.
But good to see you guys.
Unasikia Kenya amesema?
Ken anapenda kubant, but ni sawa, imealawiwa. And of course, Mr. Josh, big up on yourself, is always watching our #1 fan. Wewe ni fan wa Chelsea. But today we are not talking about football. Wacha tuweke football kando kidogo. We'll be talking about a trend. Imekuwa, this trend has been there. I mean, it's always been there. But saizi imekuwa ni kama biashara. Ni kama watu wameingia, tunasema mboka doba, unaelewa? Saizi ni kama the young men are into older women, and of course the young women are into older men. And I'm not talking about, disclaimer, I'm not talking about people who are dating with a wide age gap. There are people who are married with a wide age gap, which is okay. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about easy relationships za nowadays zenye ni kama contract. Ni kama tunaingia hapo tukijua, you scratch me here, I scratch you there. You scratch my back, I got you, you got me. Unajua, that's what we are talking about. And we need to understand what is going on. Saizi imekuwa rampant sana. Like, it's like everyone is out there doing it. Ken, saizi kila mtu wako huko nje, tuko mboka. And then, mboka doba. Alafu saizi tunaifanya openly, like, people are not even afraid anymore. Like, watu waogopi. Na ni consensual, like, consent, like me najua what I'm in for. Hatuwezi sema ati ni manipulation ama taking advantage of each other, because at some point that was it. But right now I feel like kila mtu wako hapo, they know what they are doing, and it's not manipulation. But I would love to know, where did we go wrong? Tulifikaje hapa manze hii mambo ya mboka, Ken?
I won't try to pronounce your mboka.
Usiseme, wachana tunayo.
Mboka ndomba.
Atinoma.
Mboka ndomba.
No, there's nothing new under the sun. Gerontophilia or gerontology is the attraction of someone who is younger to somebody who is older. It's still something that we keep on researching. So yesterday I went to my status and I asked people what would make them be attracted to an older person. I didn't even specify whether it's men or women. And funny thing is that finances, which we think is the #1 focus for them, is actually not #1 from the number of people that responded to my status. You'd hear people say about sense of maturity. A while back, somebody yesterday reminded me that a while back we were talking about the people who are in long-distance relationships, but they are so close to each other, but they don't want to stay with each other. Which is Bobby's preference. And they said, these older people sometimes gives you thought that you know you're relating with somebody, but they are not with you, and so you are okay. The other one is the focus, that you find somebody who is older might be focused. But then at the back of my mind, I ask myself, how old is old? So if somebody is more than 15 years older than you, you know, technically, that person will see 2 decades ahead of you. And so this person's focus might be way much, it's like talking about the older millennials, these are people born before 85, dating the younger Gen Zs. 2000s and 3s and 4s and 5. These are person who's seen the coup, they've seen the multi-party. They've even seen the millennial bug. And the only thing that you have seen is Mandamano na COVID.
Yeah.
So even when you go and start discussing, one time my grandmother was making a joke with us and said, your sister station in Oro has this program called Mogabo Amoremi.
Yes. Yes.
The farmer's voice. So my grandmother says, if you date an older man and you're a young girl, it simply means that your child will enjoy watching Mogabo Amoremi than Cocomelon. No, it hit me that you can see what would make this child. No, my grandma was making a joke, but for me, I overanalyzed it, is because probably the father would probably be watching that program and enjoying it more than watching the cartoons and Baby Shark and laughing with it. So I would say people are directed by their own interests. People look forward to their own things. If today somebody wants to give you a good future, we all wake up so that we can have a good future. If somebody would tell you to sleep and your future is made, by all means, you think you have achieved it. The question is, what would happen if that supply is cut short? That university student, that university boy who decides rather than to go and concentrate on study, they concentrate on cougars. That young girl who decides not to go and concentrate on studies and concentrates on manthas. You know, a mantha is a male version of a cougar. If you decide to do that and you miss your education, what would happen? And you know, the moment you hit 35, you're closer to death than life. What would happen to this person when they die and you were just starting your life but you missed the foundation? Naenda mazishi unalia kuliko familia.
Oh, yeah.
Na labda hakuwa amesaini ka check.
Ken Bakita kupatia red card. Leo tunapatia Ken red card, si ndio? Leo ameamua go all in. Mnasema mtoke. But honestly, Bobby, what is it that makes like women to prefer older men? Okay, Ken ameleta aspect ya maturity. Kuna swali nitauliza CJ, niko na swali ya CJ.
I can guess what the lining
I know.
Question.
But naweza taka kujua, acha tuite vile iko wa baba na wa mama, like women wana prefer wa babas. But why do we want to hide behind this thing of maturity? Kuna watu wenye wako mature na ni age mates wetu, wako si ati hawako, but watu wanataka ku hide behind unajua yeye ni mature, wako.
Sijawaona.
Bado hujawapata, but what do you think is the interest?
Okay, wacha niwarudishe kwa love languages kiasi.
Yes.
Si zile traditional za touch, sijui feel, whatever. Sizo.
Hizi ni gani?
Sasa zenye nataka kusema leo ni, you know, as we're growing up, as we're growing older, we're usually chasing the things that we lacked in our childhood because we feel like once we get these things, they will give us the validation and we'll finally feel the stability that we've been chasing. That's why you'll find grown-ups still talking about, oh, my mother never loved me, my father was never there. You're 35, you're 40, but you're still having these feelings, which are very valid, by the way. So, kwa hizo vitu zenye tuna chase ni amongst the things that we're chasing, neo stability, which is maybe financial stability or the consistency. You know, an older man doesn't have time to be gallivanting and running around. It's very predictable. You can know, mjama wangu akishatoka pale kuwatch football anaenda home kukula ugali yake. By 7 ashalala. So, unaweza gauge, you know, the situation a bit. But I know we're not talking about like 8-year-olds versus 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Some of these stories that are coming to light are like 23-year-olds with 45-year-olds, people like the unfortunate story that happened a week ago. And Hizo validation, stability, ni emotional stability, we call it maturity because we have this thought or illusion that someone who has more experience is well versed at life. Like we're expecting, they know better, they're gonna treat me better, it's going to be a better situation. But once you sit down and dissect and you start to ask yourself, really, really, truly, what is it about me that is chasing someone who's we have nothing to relate about. Even our stories, like atwezi venye amesema unaongezwa COVID na ku. Hatuna vitu zenye zina match really. I mean, love is a wide spectrum and I think you can love anyone. But in these situations where you can tell these people are with each other for some sort of mutual, maybe symbiotic or mutual benefit that they're getting that is besides actually wanting to commit and having a long-term relationship, you can kind of tell it's like they want the motherly, fatherly love. You see, this is where the daddy issues and the mommy issues are cropping up from. Your mom never told you she's proud of you. Actually, your mom fights you when you succeed in things. And then you have this nice lady who, she gives you money, she cares, she tells you, I'm proud of you, Sani. Kaboy, kababa. Oh my God, and she's patting you on the back. This is a man, he wants to listen. Even if he doesn't understand or unaona you are radi venye anafaa kurada. Unaona tu ako more patient. You think my age mate has time? He's thinking about his 7 other girlfriends and he doesn't have time to
do all those things.
Yeah, so hiyo ndo illusion tuna chase. Sijui kama ni ukweli older people wako na hizi vitu zote. Ama younger people, ama our age mates hawana. But I'm very, very sure, as someone who, sijui kama niji out, lakini as someone who understands these things, I think iyo feeling tu ya kukua.
Funguka.
Sema ikutoke.
Unajua ni national TV, mamangu ananiambia, hizo vitu unaendanga huko kuropokwa. So lazima saa ingine ni chunge vitu nasema. Lakini, watu wako kwa hizo situation, najua kitu wana chase ni hiyo stability, hiyo financial, emotional, someone who can just hear you out and listen. Yeah. And I don't think, not that I don't think, I personally have not come across, except my peers, maybe the women who are my age, I haven't met men yet, maybe they exist, who are in my age group, who have that sort of interest and commitment and they want to listen and hear and grow with. He's thinking about, even he's thinking about his 23-year-old girlfriend. The same way the 50-year-old man is also got that 23-year-old. So,
Even ndio mambo iko. I love what Roberta is saying. Karibu niko Wi-Fi at some point nikakumbuka nafaa on the other side na nafaa kuwa serious. But unajua most of the time when CJ is talking, by the way CJ nakuwaga very keen. Ukiongea nakuwaga very keen ukiongea. So kuna kitu CJ ashaisema. Akasema sometimes women, na utani correct if I'm wrong, but ukasema like us ladies, when whatever it is you're looking for a man, sometimes you're looking for is it for your dad or for your father? Like kuna zile aspects umeona kwa your dad, unaweza kukiziangalia, but also on the flip side of the coin, I could be having daddy issues. So of course nimeenda kutafuta hiyo comfort kwa this 50-year-old or 45-year-old, or it could be the other way around. Mommy issues for the boy, kababa, who is also going to look for those things, as Bobby has said. So do you think that's where is it the disconnect is, or where the connect is?
It's complex. It's complex because if it is the young man going to the older woman, you may say probably the mommy issues, but then what would be the reason for the older woman to come back down to this boy? Because it's a mutual thing. It's actually harder for the young man to hit on the older woman. Most of those women are in a certain space socially. You will not find these young men hitting on poor, broke, or downtrodden older women. It is women who have a social status. They will rarely, and not to demean anybody, but they will rarely go to the lady who is selling on the streets, who is 50 or 55. They are going for specific women. Now, how do you access this woman? She has to open the door. Yeah. Because there's a women who have built themselves into a certain space. Their access is controlled. They live in certain spaces. So it's not somebody you will randomly meet and then begin to relate with unless she brings herself into a certain space. And the complexity for me, if I may talk from that side of these older women, is that we are having a higher rate of divorces instituted by women above 40. Most divorce cases in this country, over 70%, nearly 80%, are instituted by women. And when they leave these relationships, where do they go? So what are the alternatives? If you're going to go horizontal, you're probably going to meet a man who is in a relationship, because men don't stay out of relationships for long. I say this all the time. By the time you meet a man who is 30, that man is either in a relationship, has been in one, getting into one or something. And most probably there is a child somewhere. Men do not stay for long without relationships. So if you're meeting a man at 40, he's either a divorcee, or he's a baby daddy, or he's just broken up with somebody. There is something that has happened. They don't stay for long without relationships. So when a woman is at about 45, 50, 55, what are her options with her mates? And what are the options with men older than her? They must be either divorcees or widowers. What percentage of the society is that? It is harder to go that direction. So if this woman has just come into herself and feeling like she owes herself to live life, she will most probably come lower. And she will be willing to put her money on the line just to get this, because she's not looking for financial security. She's not looking for stability in her career. She has all of this. The only thing she lacks is a man. And the question would be, what kind of man does she want? If she has to go, and I'm using this generally, not specifically, and it is not absolute. If she has to go into another relationship, if she was in a tough, hard relationship, if she felt that she was abused, she was controlled, or she lost herself in that relationship, when she's going into the next one, she wants somewhere where she will have control. So it's easier then to find a guy who is in campus, or go to the gym and find this guy who is coming up, or anywhere else, you know, and get a man who will do your bidding, that you are not going to be submitted to this person, but you will get the benefits that you want, which are mostly emotional and physical, because she has everything else. So she will be getting what she doesn't have at that particular point. But when it comes to ladies going for older men, I don't know why this shocks us, because it has been there from eternity.
Yeah.
If you look at even marriage before, you know, Bobby was talking about the love languages, and I love the thing that she was talking about. People look for stability. That's the word that was coming to my mind as well. If you look at the older days, marriages were arranged for stability. Romance came in later. If you just dig back, you'll find that the romantic aspect of marriage is a late comer.
Yeah, true.
Before, that was not the huge factor. It was financial stability. It was political stability. It was people, you know, marrying into a family so that they can gain a greater influence, or when they had business interests in certain spaces. And people were very clear about their roles. And the ages for marriage before were quite low. 14, 15, 16. Of course, it's quite different right now. That would be a minor. But in those older days, that was so different. And the gap would be wide as well. Because if you are going to a man, for example, who is going to give you stability, he couldn't be your age mate. You wouldn't be starting work at the same time. So how is he going to be stable? So the man would have to have gone ahead of you and built himself up first before he comes to find a wife to offer the stability. So this has been in society for long. I don't know whether you remember, Ken, in the 80s, it was called the sugar daddy thing. It's just the names that have been changed.
That have been changed, yeah.
But that has been there forever.
True, yeah.
There are people that has worked for. There are people, if I was off camera, I would. Yes, because I have somebody that very close to me, and interestingly, that worked. I did not think it would.
It did.
Then it did. But there are people, again, who that doesn't work for. I think it all boils down to what is the motivation of these people coming into this situation. Some of the men that relate with the younger people. Sometimes they have spent most of their lives taking care of everybody, and marriage or relationships were set aside. They were raising their siblings, their parents, and that. So they put all their money, energy, and effort in responsibilities. They could have been the firstborn, or they could have been the people who have a firstborn look in their families. And they reach 40 realizing they've never done anything for themselves, because they're afraid, if I get into a family, I'll not take care of my ailing parents, my siblings will not go to school. And it gets to a place where now somebody has to tell you, you've got to think about yourself. At that point, whom do you bring to them? They have not been in a relationship per se. And so they have to get somebody. And maybe the available person is 15 years younger. There are other people who's thinking, and I'm just trying to give the logic behind this. There are other people who sometimes the reason why they will go lower is that they feel if they have somebody of their same age, they will grow older together.
Yeah.
And so when lifestyle diseases show up, they're on medication.
They want a nurse.
So in their mind, they would rather have somebody else that is around them that brings in a certain kind of energy. But all of these things, whichever the logic, they are rooted in certain things, in fear. They are rooted in a certain fear. It is that fear that pushes us into the looking for stability. Because if I am thinking I don't want to ever be broke again, it's a fear that then pushes me for what I'm saying. I want stability. What I'm looking for has been birthed out of the womb of a fear that I don't want to struggle the way my family did. I don't want to be broke like we were. I don't want to die early because we are married at the same age or relating with somebody at my same age, and you know, they will not bring the life in me. I think it's certain fears that we have, and those fears are valid, yes.
Wow. So, Ken, we are talking about emotional stability, financial stability, all those things that we're looking for. But then again, I keep on asking myself this question. Is this the reason why we're having so many domestic, do I call them domestic violence, GBVs and all this? Because at the end of the day, we've seen how these things have ended because of control. Someone wants to have control over you. Someone wants to basically, you know, it's the life revolves around them. You cannot do anything else if it's not for them. So would you say like it's a waste of life for someone who is young? Because probably if you're dating someone who is 45 and you're 25, unajua at 25 ndio maisha yako sasa, ndio yani hiyo ndio inafaa kuwa peak. Musemanga ukifika 21, between 21 year and 30, before now you get to 30 and above, hapo ndio unakuanga ukijidiscover, hapo ndio unafaa ku make hizo mistakes zote za life yako. But would you say it's like a waste of time for this younger person? Because by the time they get there, probably this person doesn't want kids. Yako na watoi wake, of which unapata mtoi hata you're the age mate of that kid. So would you say it's a waste of time?
Not really. You know, CJ has brought out something I wanted to bring out. There are two ages that we must know that every human being has. There is the chronological age and the maturity age. Chronology is from when you were born. If today everybody asks you, how old are you? You're saying 25. But how mature are you? There are people who got fixated at a certain age. Maybe at the age of 15, 16, you were made by circumstances to start behaving like an adult. Maybe your parents could not fend for you anymore. Maybe you lost it and you lost the people who were making a life for you. Or maybe the responsibilities that were thrown at you became so much. So chronologically, you are still 18. But maturity-wise, you've heard, CJ has said, of the firstborns who got so tired taking care of everybody. A child taking care of their own children, but they have to act like the parent. So chronologically, we unaona mtu akiwa 21. Unaona mtu wa 45. But maturity-wise, maybe this person fixated at the age of 21. So maturity age, these people are age mates. Only one is older chronologically. Yeah, but they are the same. So kwenda happy, they are still enjoying the same. Only that one, the bones can't dance for long. Yeah,
Magoti.
Arthritis.
Surely.
Yeah. ni mwili tu, mwili iko na miaka
Imekataa.
45.
Imekataa.
But brain-wise and maturity-wise, they are still thinking. They were met, you know, when I was growing up, having been brought up by my grandmother, you can imagine the kind of exposure that I was given. Accompanying my grandmother to functions za wamama wazee na wababa wazee wa kanisa, started interacting. Actually, I've started learning recently how to interact with people my age. And there are times that I look at them and I'm like, wako na wana. Because my brain was meant to function like those people who are that age and the reasoning. And sometimes even you hear people say, naona ongeanga kama kamzee, but sio mimi. It's because of where I was exposed. Yeah. Remember, we are products of our environment. We are also producers of our own environment. But there could also be the other chance, the lazy factor. And we cannot dispute that there is a lazy factor when it comes to dating older people. 50 Cent mentality. 50 Cent is a musician of the Gen Zs. He told them, get rich or die trying. So you better get rich. Because even if we go out there with CJ and we motivate people that your time will come, even KFC owner came at 65, there is a person who asked me in a university, so if I make it at 65, and the Bible promises us 70 years, I'm only going to enjoy my money for 5 years. I'd rather start making money at 30. And the lazy factor is making so many of our young people be introduced into even businesses that are not meant to be theirs. Look at this young girl, look at this young boy. Why would you subject yourself to be a pedi wa majuu? Unawekwa cocaine kwa tumbo so that you can meet the demands za wazee who already know that cocaine and other drugs, but they don't want to carry it themselves because they will be shamed. Why would you, as a young man, subject yourself to be a wash guy? Because your cougar knows that they want that money, but they don't want to do the dirty work. You know, we always see what is rosy here. But some of these people are subjected to even things that they cannot talk about. Yeah. I spoke to a young girl the other day and she was telling me the kind of businesses and spiritual occultism that she was being taken by her mbaba. Because the mbaba now has also started realizing, hey, with this woman, mimi sitaweza kufanya mambo zingine. And with a young girl who is ready, ulipwe some 5-10 Gs, you're ready to do anything, pesa za haraka. Get rich or die trying mentality will kill so many of our young people. And if to answer you, yes, sometimes it's an act in futility that you go and make that money and you lose yourself. And most of the time, finding yourself back. Yeah. You know, there is a saying akina Bobby huku nje wanasemanga, once you go black, you can never go back. You know why? Yeah. Because once you taste that, you will make money. If to you pleasure comes as a result of payment, you will connote always pleasure with payment. And even when you get settled in marriage, kama hauhongwi, you know, corruption even in the bedroom, kama hauhongwi, and that's why they say today's love language has really changed. Yeah. The love language of today is you have confirmed, you have received. You have received. You know the love language say. But you know, these are fades, they are fads, they will come and fade. You don't want to work for something. If you come and want to use my money, kuna watu pocket change yao ni 100K, akina Bobby. I was telling CJ he's so busy making money. I hope he will share some with me. Yeah? Kuna mtu anauliza kadem, so what will it cost me to have you? Na hako in their naivety, because amesikia mabeshte wake wakisema 5K, ndio minimum, kanasema, so you give me 10. And the guy is like, okay. And you think you've earned quite a lot of money, but to somebody else, that is pocket change. Yeah. So you're being used and misused because somebody somewhere has made a lot of money. So what will they do in return? They will make sure that you stick with them because they can afford you. And the moment they do away with you, they will go on to the next. So there are men out here and women out here whose dial number is always to the next because they have used you. Let me use the next. And you know, because they can afford it, and because the market is so ripe, kuna watu wa kuchukuliwa. Somebody somewhere is wishing, I only wish I can have a mubaba like that one. And now mabeshte, you know, nowadays we are surrounded by snakes who hiss but they kiss you. Yeah? Your friend will wait for you to go to the washroom so that they can take the number of your mubaba or your cougar. And they go like, in any case you don't find him or her, you can always text me.
Ken napenda venye umeisema. Unajua umeisema venye iko, umeisema live.
That's the truth.
Umeisema tu live. I love the fact that you've said it as it is. You're being used, you're being manipulated, na atenda to the next one. Thank you for bringing out that aspect. And Bobby, they say women we mature more than men. Wanasemanga women, if you're probably 5 years older than him, mentally utako uko mbele na yeye. But they also say we know what we want. Venye CJ amesema, mimi najua kitu nataka. Hata mimi saizi at this point, I know what I want and I know what I don't want. So even when I'm dating, whether it's a younger person or an older person, I already know what I want. Do you think that affects also relationships? Like, madem, enye ni ukweli, tunajua kitu tunataka, na pia maturity nini yetu iko juu kuliko ya men. Do you think that affects this whole situationship that we are talking about?
Let me just start by saying, let us stop infantilizing men. These men are not dumb. They are very calculative. Men are very...
manipulative.
They're very smart. Let me say smart. Let me not say, because men are good people.
Thank you, Bob.
They give us money, so...
Wow.
Thank you. No, but these people are super... Like, they're really intelligent.
So simafala.
Just think about the male species in the animal kingdom, how they act, how they forge, how they think, how they calculate. That's exactly how men are. So everything they're doing, they know. When he's ignoring you, he knows. When he's talking to you, he knows. When he's all those things you don't like him,
Anajua.
He knows. Even the things you like him doing when they know. That's why he'll remember, my girlfriend said something 5 years ago, let me surprise her. They know, they're very, very smart. You're number one. So hiyo kitu ya kusema we mature faster, I think that's not really a gendered thing. It can be, maybe, probably, but it has a lot to do with environment, childhood traumas, the way we grow, the way we are socialized. And then we keep reiterating these statements like this, and then iyo kuzirigagitate inafanya stick. So now you go into relationships thinking, knowing that men are not that mature. I mean, you think you can you can manipulate a millionaire who built his company from the ground up, and you're a 23-year-old. Really, girl? Really? He knows what he knows. He's not dumb. He's very intelligent. Hiyo ni number one. Alafu ningetaka tuna feel ni kama tunajijua for real. You know, even the way you say with conviction, I know what I want, I know who I am, And this is very true. This is something I actually push a lot of women especially to do for themselves, because something that happens when you start relating with someone or even hanging out with them enough times, you start releasing bonding hormones, and you start your subconscious starts overtaking your conscious mind. So now you might have all the logic. By the way, you might have all the facts. This man is a liar. He does what? He did what to Nani? But the fact that you're already bonding and creating these emotional feelings, you get attached. So unaweza kwa by the way hata decide unaingia kwa hiyo relationship kwa sababu cute na kula pesa zake. But umeingia hapo cute kutatuka baba.
Ushaingia box.
Kila kitu inaisha. Unasahau, unaanza kusoften up, una-relax.
Yeah.
So, and vice versa as well.
Yeah.
You know, when you're relating with people, you're bound to start catching feelings and creating feelings from this. So, what I want us to do is be very cognizant, be very aware that, by the way, this can happen to anyone. You know, you think it can't be you. You think I can never be attracted to, or I can never be in such a desperate situation that I need to start talking to older women for money. There will come a time in your 20s where that older woman will show up and offer you everything
that you've ever wanted.
And you will be needy. You will be needy. If you're desperate, or if you're not that exposed, or venye Ken amesema, umezoea 5K, 10K, na mtu anaweza spend 2 million, utaingia box haraka. So what I'd push is being cognizant, one, but also allow yourself to understand that we're human beings. This is our first experience here. We're bound to make mistakes. You know, you can do something at 23, and unfortunately, it can cost your life. But if we were discussing this whole issue actually in some group, and we're talking about how some of us tumeponea fatality just by God's grace.
Yeah.
Ama because of our mom's prayers, ama sijui nini. Because we've been in the same situation.
God's grace.
We've been at house parties, drinking, having fun, enjoying ourselves, what are the chances that someone didn't fall off a balcony? Or someone didn't end up in a violent situation, or someone didn't end up in a police station, or hizi vitu, by the way, tumezifanya, lakini the reason tunaweza advice ni juu tunatry kuonesha we've been there. You don't have to learn from your own mistakes. You don't have to repeat them. You can just watch the people who came before you and judge for yourself and make a decision from there. Whatever decision you're getting into any sort of relationship with someone into, please make sure that you're feeling your soul, you're getting better as a human being, you're truly loving yourself, and you're choosing better. If you choose superficial things, like you choose one thing, you might get that one thing, but it's going to cost you in another way. So try and be a very wholesome human being so that you can attract wholesome human beings. Even if you want money, he's going to come with money, kindness, generosity, love, understanding, and all these other qualities that you're looking for. But if you're just in relationships because CG, you want to use someone, you want to take money from them, social status, for whatever reason that you're getting into these sort of age gap relationships that do not seem appropriate to the society, think. And then also, there's this thing where especially women usually think older men approach them. You know, they tell them you're mature for your age. Or, you know,
things we want to hear.
Yeah, you know, you're different. I've never met a 22-year-old girl like you. You think, you know, and then the older men, 40-year-old plus men are really, really delusional, thinking these young girls will love me because they are in love with me. They want me because they are so in love with me. Both of these people are delusional. You really think someone who is 20 years older, younger than you, is madly smitten in love with you? Think. And you, 22-year-old girl, do you really, really think you're mature? Think, why is he not dating his age mates? Mbona age mates wake hawamtaki? Mbona huyo 41-year-old aongei na 41-year-old women? Mbona ma age mates wake hawamtaki? Chunguza na ufikirie leo, tafakari. Sitajibu hiyo, lakini wewe
Tafakari ya nyanya.
Nafikiria, oh, you know, I'm mature. You know, when you're in that position also, you think you're smart and you know better. No one can tell you anything.
But,
there's a reason that 40-year-old man has skipped 39, 35, 32.
Back at 22.
Kuna reason. So we chunguza.
Bobby, leo ni kumoto. So maybe probably tukienda ku wrap up show, maybe CJ you can talk about, because it's already happening for the young man who is in college, or maybe they're in university, but they're dating this 45-year-old or 50-year-old. They're already into it, and probably they're just thinking this is okay to be in this situationship. Or a 22-year-old, 25-year-old who's dating a 50-year-old man. Maybe just talk to them, because it already ina happen. Ni kitu yenye imekuwa ikihappen, ni kitu ina happen saizi, and it's actually the numbers are rising and it's getting worse, for lack of a better word. Maybe just talk to that young man or that young lady.
Let me go back into what Bobby brought up. I think abuse is not exclusive to those large age gap relationships. We have seen campus students travel out of town, go so far to kill their girlfriends and stuff. When it comes to things around violence, it doesn't have an age. It could be at any one point. So it's important for you to know an abuser, whether they are your age mate, classmate, or something. And a lot happens around those ages as well. If you see somebody who is abusive, you need to find out what you can do about it, whether they are older, younger, your age mate. There is absolutely no excuse for them. Even if they're the younger person, they could be abusive. You know, there are people who have killed their parents. So I needed to bring out that control. People who exercise control, they can start doing that at age 2. On a light note, my youngest son, the retirement package, you know, he's just 11, and so one of the days he comes into my room, stays there, is playing on the laptop, then he tells me, "Daddy, go and draw the curtains."
I know.
I love that. And you went superstar Quinje.
I'm like, I started laughing. What are you even saying? And so I do it. then he goes downstairs, gets his water, comes, is taking his water. Then at some point, he gives me the cup. Daddy, take it downstairs.
I love him. Already.
Well, now, if you don't balance out that,
Yeah.
at whatever age, they may get used to, you know, control and whatever it is. But talking about, coming back to your question, people who are in these things, I think for me, I normally would like to bring it out. Ken mentioned the maturity age. I like bringing out the element of the stage, the stage that somebody is at. And maybe we need to also analyze the nature of these relationships, because when we started, you said we're not talking about people who are in marriage or serious relationships. It's these people who are transactional.
Yes.
Yet the truth is, even a lot of people who are in what seems like serious relationships are very transactional.
Where?
They go in for something. When Bobby was talking about, why do you think this person has come to you? Let me tell you, even the 25 relating with the 25, there's a reason.
Something must give.
Because I've seen so many people who told me that guy is not my type. They're in the same age, man. He's not in my type. There's nothing. Or that lady, I can't. And then you end up joining them. Somewhere something changed. What changed? Because this was somebody they were absolutely not interested in. They must have seen a benefit. So my thinking is, what stage are you at? And what is the nature of your relationship? Is it a serious one, or is it transactional? If it is just these very basic transactional things, that's a very dangerous place to be. Because yes, you will waste your time, energy, emotions, you will be drained, you will never be fulfilled. We all look for, and we're all built for something committed. And when you don't get that, and then you keep on plugging and pulling off, plugging and pulling off, there's a sense of emptiness that you will have, which cannot be paid back by money or anything else. And that also begins to now develop certain other negative emotions, which then have to be filled up with other stuff as well. Different things to fill up that emptiness. But in other cases, my question would be, if you're a younger man, can you play the role of a head to this woman? Are you grown, developed, built to play the role of a head? If you can't, then that relationship is warped. Even if you're an older man to this lady, can you play that role? And that's where now I start talking about the fatherhood thing. Because if I am in the life of a lady, if it is either marriage or relationship, I'm supposed to take the place of her father.
Yeah.
Can I be a father head and a father figure to this woman? If I cannot, we are going to have fundamental issues with that relationship because the foundation is already broken.
True that. Tukimalizia, maybe closing remarks, Ken Monywa.
For me, I would say, be woke in what you do.
Yeah.
Choose wisely, because you can always choose your sins, but you can never choose the consequences of your sins. So choose your sins wisely. Yeah.
Wow. Choose your sins wisely. I like that. Bobby, tukimalizia.
Tutake kucommit sins. Mi naweza sema tu jipende manze. Like jipende, jichague. Nasemanga hiki tu kila saa nikiwa kwa show kila wiki. O watu waliambia niongee kizungu. Pole. Choose yourself, love yourself, and just always be there for yourself, because this makes it clear. And when you're in situations where you're not supposed to be, and it's going to be way easier for you to catch, even if there's red flags. Now, by the way, Leo, we were discussing situations that look dystopian. We know there's so many other sorts of similar relationships that are working out. Hizo zisawa, siku za healthy relationships tutadiscuss healthy. But leo kwa tu tunasema, kama unajua uko kwa situation yenye hauko very sure, because you also always feel it if it's not where you're supposed to be. Listen to yourself, catch the red flags. And if you're in any sort of situation where somebody especially we're still doing the 16 days of activism. In a situation where you feel like you could be in danger, jitoe tu, it's not worth it. Izo pesa, izo whatever it is you're chasing, siji stability. Sija amewambia, crazy people grow old, stupid people grow old, wako in every age, violent people grow old. So you might think you're chasing the stability you could have gotten with someone who's even different. So please love yourself.
CJ, in under a minute, just closing remarks. Punchline.
Well, I'll go with what Bobby said. Because when you love yourself, then you choose what you deserve.
Yeah.
Right.
Jielewe, by the way, mentally, emotionally, financially, in every aspect, understand yourself, even physically, so that you're not manipulated, you're not used. By the time someone is coming into your life, they already see who you are and what you are. So yeye ndio atadili na wewe vile uko, au sio? Noma tena sana. Love yourself. Nifollow pale kwenye social media pages zangu, Cutie Lady Josh, of course CJ Atemo, Roberta Bobby, Ken Monywa, the psychologist, ndio hapo sawa kabisa. Na tukitoka hapa naingia Radio Citizen from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Have a lovely, lovely Tuesday, guys.